Hello to you and thanks for being with us today for Spotlight Carolina. I'm Mark Cady, and Allure Medical is one of the nation's leading treatment providers for varicose. Joining us here today on Spotlight Carolina is Dr. Charles Moak. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you having me on board.
You have been known as a great provider of treatment for varicose throughout the Metro Detroit area, and you've made a huge expansion down here into the Carolinas. First of all, I want to talk about that expansion into Greenville first, and secondly, you really have this approach to trying to fix the healthcare system. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the things, we were treating varicose veins, but back in 10, 12 years ago, that's really all this technology did. And then we found it treats what we call ugly legs, people with swelling, discomfort, even sores on their legs. And what happens in the past 100 years or so, when people would get these really bad legs where they get swelling, discomfort, redness, sores, they would treat it with wound care, where they put these dressings on them, and it's basically the rest of their life. But the varicose vein technology allows us to cure that problem forever. It doesn't come back. Greenville, the reason we selected that is one of the cities that really was kind of underpenetrated for our services, and we looked around the country where areas that we wanted to go to made sense for us, and we had a partner practice in Greenville that we acquired, brought them into our system, and now we're expanding. We're now in North Carolina, South Carolina, a few different cities.
You talked about that, the old treatment of that, and now your treatment can really help save a lot of money when it comes to the insurance companies. We're going to talk about that in just a second, but first, when you talk about like varicose, it starts with the veins, but it can get progressively worse, am I right?
Yeah, so some people might just get a minor varicose vein or spider vein, and if they don't have symptoms, it could stay like that for years. But once they start getting soreness or discomfort or fatigue or swelling, it progresses about 4% per year, and you can see on the screen that they get these bulging veins, discoloration, patchiness, and then eventually sores can develop, and that's really what we want to prevent.
Talk to us a little bit about how the treatment works, and insurance can help with a lot of this, right?
For sure, insurance covers it if you're symptomatic. The treatment is really pretty simple. We do an ultrasound that gives us a three-dimensional, like a roadmap of what's going on, why do you have these problems, and then we use an energy-based device. It's done under a local anesthetic. You're not knocked out, doesn't hurt. It basically burns the vein, but you don't feel it, and it reroutes the blood into the healthy veins, so your circulation returns to normal.
And what we're looking at right here is a before and after, is that right?
Yeah, this is a guy who had actually had varicose veins and venous disease for years. He had surgeries in and out of wound care, and we treated him with this modern procedure, and 10 years later, he's got pretty much a normal leg.
Tell us a little bit about your credentials and how you really came to be known as one of the great providers in the Michigan area.
Yeah, so my background was in the hospital. I was working in an emergency and trauma center, and then we started doing this varicose vein procedure, and there's a board called the American Board of Phlebology. I'm a member of that. But a lot of our doctors are surgeons or internists that do this procedure.
That's amazing, and it's great that you've been able to come to an area that's so underserved. Allure Medical now has locations all across the Carolinas. To learn more, you can visit alluremedical.com. And if you're interested, call for a free leg screening today. Dr. Moak, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
Thank you so much for being with us here today. Spotlight Carolina.